Day.
Good morning. I'm EJ Williams.
Give us a call at 312-374-8130. That's 312-374-8130. E-Jizzle, where can you be found?
You can find me online if you're on Instagram at ultimate_EJ. Also at Building Her Legacy Now. You can call me at 773-340-9101. And you can email me at ej@buildingherlegacy.com.
For all your insurance needs, call the Curtis R. Monday Insurance Agency at 708-647-1005. That's 708-647-1005. If you are interested in getting together one-on-one for real estate business strategy coaching, go to my website, www.curtisrmonday.com. That's www.curtisrmonday.com. Get your appointment today. Time is booking up. So I want to hear from you. Want to say what's up to Holly Robinson, tuning in to She Flips, He Flips. What's up, Holly? We got Dennis Rowland. What's up, Dennis? Also, Mo Bay, Ray Mo Bay from I Flip Chicago. What up, Mo Bay? Real estate entrepreneur out there doing this thing, him and his wife. We appreciate you, brother. Who you got following, EJ?
We got LaDonna Kelly, her brother David, my pops. He always faithfully watches and tune in. I have a few people on Instagram. Hubby.
Jason?
Yes.
What's up, Jay?
Carl. Quite a few others.
Okay.
Thank you guys for tuning in today.
That's right. This show is called She Flips, He Flips. We got three primary goals here on She Flips, He Flips. One, to create an inspirational blueprint for those interested in real estate. Two, to create generational wealth within our communities. And three, be a source of education to provide resources. Everybody and their mother, EJ, are interested in real estate investing.
Yep.
Look, little known fact. I don't even know you knew this, EJ. I don't like to watch the real estate investment shows that come on HGTV.
I record some of them and I just fast forward to the end to see the before, the after, and see how they line about these numbers they making.
But I would think that you actually, I would have thought that you, with your great infinite design skills, would want to see and get tips and no, you don't.
Well, just the end, when I see where it came, where they started, right, and then where it ends. That's like the last 5 minutes of it.
Right. I can't. It makes me want to throw up. I don't like the. And it's weird because I guess I'm in this space. I'm in this industry, and I like. But I
used to watch them. I used to watch them faithfully, but then over time, I just kind of got a little bored, with them. But I do watch Flip and Flop Atlanta. I like that couple.
Are they African American?
They are not.
Are there any black people in these shows?
We don't last long. We don't last very long. It was one couple that was out of Texas. I think it was like one season of them.
I think I saw.
That was the most recent one. And then some years before that, maybe 10 years, it was a couple. They were somewhere in the Midwest, Missouri or Kansas or somewhere. They were kind of boring.
Any Hispanics in the It's all little white girls.
You know what? It was.
It is. All the shows got little white girls.
They have plenty of shows for them all over.
It's the same blueprint.
Yep.
It's a white dude and he tear down walls or he
right,
measuring stuff, and the little white girl is always creative and she going to pick out tiles
right,
and flooring and
yep,
I did see one that sparked my interest, but I think it only sparked my interest because I was familiar with the area, the one in Chicago. Like it's not Chicago. It's not called Chicago Flip and Flop. It's called like
Windy City.
Windy City, right?
Yeah, they got canceled though.
Yeah, they did.
She got
she called a case, didn't she?
She did. They were on the north side.
She called a case, bro.
They were getting a lot of complaints from neighbors. The city stopped issuing them permits, so I think they really shut like a lot of their business. I don't remember all the specifics for it, but
the neighbors complaining about the ruckus and the disruption to their lives,
leaving debris around. It was some issues with not pulling the correct permits and the city shutting them down. So, yeah, they got in a lot of trouble. But I liked her style. I liked what she was doing.
Yeah, she has some. Again, you're talking to a guy who has very limited creative skills, but I like a lot of the things that she was doing. She was, putting in floating stairs and changing the exterior and putting brick on the exterior. Everything was black and white. Like she really, really had like a great command of space and creativity, etc. So I found that one pretty interesting. But my beef with the shows. Like they always have this, they find a property, right? And they always got some guy, Wally or Tom, whoever they can call. They call Wally, and Wally hit them with that bread.
Right.
Like, Wally, we got a case. Hey, it's going to cost $150,000. We need $150. Okay, no problem. It'll be that. Like they always miraculous. It's like the old Batman and Robin sitcom. The Batman and Robin always get out of trouble.
Right.
They always got the angel investor there to get that bread. But
it was a Hispanic couple, but they weren't from the city. They were out. They did a Chicago show. I think it was around 2016, 2017. But they were from the suburbs somewhere, trying to do a flip on 75th and Aberdeen.
Wow. Okay.
It didn't. I saw they listed it a couple times. I don't know what ended up happening with that property, but we've been contacted. In all fairness, we've been contacted down through the years by production companies to do shows, and to be honest, none of them really truly want you to be yourself. Right. So they've come out and they've shot with us a couple of days, and they want Jason to do something quirky and goofy, and he's not really that kind of. He's not really that kind of guy. But that same Hispanic couple who ended up getting that show, we were contacted about it before that, but we were already in agreement with the production company, so we had to pass on that opportunity. But I kind of want to do my own thing. If we were to do something, so I can be truly, authentically myself. Yeah.
That goes to this whole notion of being able to have resources intact that gives you the opportunity to have a conduit to be able to do things like that. Remote Bay says regarding Windy City, bro, she didn't have permits for the projects.
See?
How you going to be on reality
TV?
Like, how you going to do dirt without, like, I can see doing dirt on the low, but how you going to do dirt? He says we interviewed AGP, but they didn't want to come to the South Side. I get that. Remote says that, him and his wife, they do a lot with I Flip Chicago.
Right.
And they said that HGTV didn't want to come to the South Side. That's why we need
That's
our own.
That's okay. Y'all can stay on the north side.
Stay on the north side. Yeah, stay on the north side. But, to each his own. EJ, Christmas good with the family?
Christmas was good. We did things a little non-conventionally this year. We 16, 17 of us went to my family, went to Ruth Chris. We've been hosting, my husband and I have been hosting Christmas in our home since 2006. But as you know, I lost my grandmother this year, and she would be the one that showed up first, before the crowd, and making sure I'm doing everything right and giving me secrets in her recipes and things like that, and wanted to see my daughter's gifts. But I just couldn't bear hosting without her there this year. So the family agreed for us to switch it up, and it was beautiful. We had a great time. The service was good. Food was good. Then we all went back to the house and played some games and watched some TV. And they didn't leave at 2 o'clock in the morning. Typical Christmas. So it was good. It was a beautiful day. The weather was awesome.
I'm discovering that there's a correlation between how old you are, and the less gifts or the amount of gifts that you get. The older you are, the less gifts you actually get. Yeah. When I was a kid, I got love. If it was a correlation between how much people loved you and the gifts, I was well loved when I was a kid. As I gotten older, people don't mess with me as much. And that hurts.
And who are these people that's supposed to be giving you Christmas gifts?
Come on, man. Look, I put in work. Like throughout the whole year, I put in work. I didn't cook.
I got 2 gifts.
Provide for real. I actually did get my sister bought me like a little Jodeci jagged edge, like vest, right? And I'm gonna get greased up. I'm gonna wear it one day on the air. I'm gonna get greased up and wear it. She bought me that, and the ginger boo. She bought me I got a cashmere coat, and that's gonna when I wear that, we're going to shoot that bit because when I do my
a fan blowing behind you and everything.
Exactly, yeah. That was dope. That was dope. But
no, but I don't look for gifts for myself for Christmas. I always think of kids, and I have a ton of kids to buy for. I got 7 godkids, 2 nieces, 2 nephews. So after that, I hope no adults are looking for me for gifts besides my parents.
In all fairness and honesty, the things that I truly want, right? I don't feel comfortable with asking a person to buy for it.
Exactly.
Right. The things that really will make me, I'm not going to ask a person to buy that for me. That'll be something I have to buy for myself. But I was telling the listening audience on UBR that Chance the Baby, he was so unimpressed by his gifts.
He's one, Curtis.
But he's supposed to have awareness by now. You know,
Stop
EJ,
yourself.
I mean, he's supposed to have awareness, man. Yeah, I've been talking to the kid, you know what I mean? He's supposed to have awareness, brother. Jason Kennedy, you just had a kid, so you know this. The kid's supposed to have awareness. I know he's one, but we are making the learning curve far too easy for him right now. But nevertheless, though,
they get excited about just tearing the paper open.
That's what he was. He was interested in the paper and the boxes. But I was telling him earlier that he taught me a very fundamental lesson that we tend to put too much stock into materialism, and consumerism and things of that nature. And it's the simple things in life, right? You having loved ones there and people being around you who you love and support being there.
Yep.
That's important. And thank you, Chance the Baby, for, I still got to put his stuff together. I'm not the dad that puts stuff together.
Look.
That's not me. Like,
get yourself together.
His mom is great with stuff like that. She watches HGTV every day. So I'm like, got a little tool belt. Go on, put that car together. But that's not. I'm more of the hiring type. At the properties for the fix.
Yes.
I don't. When it comes to real estate investment, I don't put the drywall up, EJ. I mean,
know.
You don't do it right.
And I'm married to a man well, sorry, Jason. He doesn't do much of that either. I had to hire someone this week.
There you go. There you go.
To come and put up a closet door and a cabinet door because he just doesn't have time.
I don't care about it
too much. The interest.
My dad made sure I went to school to learn how to use this muscle and not this. And I respect those who get out there and change the plumbing and change the leaky toilet. I didn't watch the plumber do it a couple of times.
Right.
But I don't have any inclination. I can probably, side see plumb, like if that's a word, like you need to do this, but I'm not going to actually, do that. But New Year's, 2020, everyone has resolutions. Everybody's thinking about something. Tell me what's on tap for you for 2020.
2020, I want to get more people off the ledge who's been thinking about and talking about and preparing to invest in real estate investing and get them to actually pull the trigger.
Sure.
So providing some unconventional ways of training and more seminars and more one-on-one coaching and mentoring.
Sure.
So professionally. And then just scaling up our business. You know, we're lined up to do some new construction this year and acquiring quite a few more buy and holds.
What do you think is going to take to get people off their ledge, EJ?
I think it's more education.
Sure.
And then just literally providing them a blueprint. Here's a lender. Here's a contractor, you know, and then someone to hold their hand.
Sure. I tell everybody, I have a theme, and everything that I do is going to fall underneath this theme. It's called Godly Efficient Focus.
I like it.
That's my theme for 2020. And so, again, I'm encouraging everybody, and even this is me talking to myself out to the listener audience, to reinforce your faith. And we won't debate whether that's faith in Jesus or Allah or whatever you believe, but I believe that you need to have that foundation to help you through those times where it's required, where life requires you to dig deep.
Right.
And that faith structure helps with an increased hope. And we live in a society where hopelessness is running rampant. And
it is.
I need that efficiency. EJ knows this. I don't have a whole lot of time. And EJ know that if I hire you to do a thing for me, I need for you to do that thing that I hired you
ahead
for.
Of schedule.
Ahead of schedule. For that time. So my architect, who I'm going to meet on Monday at 2 o'clock, I want to see you at that time. But nevertheless, being efficient, with children and, family and things of that nature, we don't have a lot of time.
Right.
This year just flew by.
I don't know where this year went.
It just flew by. So being efficient. But then the other thing, too, being focused, right? Making sure that I focus on the thing, that the thing remains the thing. Making sure that you eliminate things that take you away from, whether it's habits, people, activity, whatever those things are to distract you from getting the very best of you out.
Yeah.
Eliminating them. And that requires you to really be, honest with yourself
right.
About those things. So that's my thing.
That happened for me this year, just having to eliminate the things that were distractions. And really, the enemy, and you can call it what that is, it really just comes to distract you from what your focus is and what your purpose is. And I've seen over the last 18 months where hurdles and people and issues have been trying to get me off my focus. And my friends, we have this saying, it's called focus on your focus.
Focus on your focus. Okay, I like that.
Focus on your focus. So for 2020, I'm just going to do more of that.
Sure.
And be a little bit more unapologetic about how I'm spending my time and who I'm spending my time with.
Somebody told me, actually not somebody, Melanie Span Cooper, the president of WVON Midway Broadcasting, told me this years ago, about a decade ago. She says, when you're in your 20s, you have no idea what it is you're supposed to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
When you hit your 30s, you have some kind of idea and you're formulating what it is you're supposed to be doing.
Right.
By the time you hit your 40s, you should have some kind of idea about what it is you're doing, and your 40s are your legacy years. These are the years that you spend building the rest of your life, and by the time you hit 50 and beyond, you're just executing at that point.
Exactly.
At this stage of life, we're astute enough to know the distractions. Like I can pinpoint, I can tell you where the areas of shortcomings are that holds me back. It's not too many distractions that I can't identify. There are a lot of the things that, if we sat down and made a list, you could probably rattle off 3 things that you right now you need to change. A, B, and
sure.
C, right? So it's not so much that we're unaware and we don't know. It's the fortitude and the commitment and the discipline to just do it. And I always marvel and ask myself this question. Look at God's grace on my life as it is right now.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine if I really, really committed to eliminating the things that I know that I should eliminate.
Right.
Where would I go?
Yeah. I agree with that. I think about all of the things that I have here in my mind that I know that can take off and that can go to the next level. And it's a part of just getting out of the minutia.
Right.
The things that are sucking your time, that's not revenue generating, or it's not really going to take you to the next level. And I think with my grandmother's passing this year, I just feel so much more a sense of urgency to get things done.
Yeah. Same here. When combination of my mom passing and then with Chance, the same thing. It's this. If anyone know like hip hop, I play Jay, but listening to there's this Tupac documentary. I think it's called Resurrection. It's this great scene that Tupac has where he's in the studio and he's getting mad at the engineer because the engineer wants to stop them from rapping and take his track and go ahead and put the beats behind it. And Tupac like, no, I ain't got the time for that, man. Y'all need to take what we got and y'all mix it up on the background. We got to get this out. It was this rush, and his death was, shortly thereafter.
Right.
But it was like this rush to get what's in you out.
Yeah.
And you want to get it out as quickly as possible. And so, when you go through those different things, the different things that we know we've been through, you want to get those out.
Right.
So I don't want people to think that EJ and I don't have anything with any plans for She Flips, He Flips. We got some great things.
Oh, we got some good things in the cooker.
Yeah, we got some heat coming from you guys, but
maybe next week.
Maybe next week. Yeah. We got to get cooking because we got so many things going on. But just to be able to educate you guys and to help out and to do our part with, helping individuals with their real estate acquisitions, it's important. And so we're gonna take a quick break. When we come back, we're gonna get into that. We're gonna share with you 11 effective ways to find real estate deals in 2020. We'll be right back with She Flips, He Flips.
Yep.
Welcome back to She Flips, He Flips with Curtis R. Monday.
Hello, everyone. I'm EJ Williams.
Call us live in the studio at 312-374-8130. That's 312-374-8130. EJ, where can people find you?
You can call me 773-340-9101 if you're looking for a pretty awesome real estate broker, investor, or a coach or mentor. You can also email me at ej@buildingherlegacy.com. If you're on Instagram, you can catch me at ultimate_EJ and Building Her Legacy Now.
Absolutely. For all your insurance needs, call the Curtis R. Monday Insurance Agency at 708-647-1005. That's 708-647-1005. And especially for you real estate investors, there's a way if you know what to do with the insurance, it can save you like 30 to 35% off your actual investment property. So that's a big deal. So call me. And then for real estate coaching, set up your business strategy for 2020. Visit the Curtis R. Monday website, www.curtisrmonday.com, and schedule your one-on-one coaching session today. EJ, let's get into it. Helping individuals right now, 11 effective ways to find real estate deals in 2020.
Yep.
A lot of times, if you just use the conventional ways to just find real estate, relying on your realtor, MLS, yada, 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 you may find good deals, but you may not find great deals. And so the goal is to try to give individuals as many different outlets and ways to find deals, but not just good deals, but great deals, to find motivated sellers who are willing to sell their properties at lower than market value. So some of these things we're going to talk about are known. Some of them may not be known to you, but we're going to just dig in and get into as many of them as we possibly can. Number one, which is the holy grail, is the MLS. To find deals. EJ, realtor, why is the MLS still important today?
Well, because that's where you'll find most listings. And most sellers are using a real estate agent, a broker, to put their property on the market. So there's more competition, obviously, with the MLS, but you still can get some great deals out there.
Yeah. It's still, I believe I saw a statistic that said that still some 80% of the properties right now are still sold via the MLS. I mean, so you can do Zillow searches to find agents in your areas of interest and try to work with those agents to get, what they call pocket listings. EJ, for someone listening, like what the hell is a pocket listing?
Well, it's a listing that an agent has. They may not have put on the market just yet, but that's not quite legal, especially if you have a seller signed a contract and they're expecting you to put it on the MLS. It should go there. But you do have agents that say, hey, I have a listing that's going live today. Here's the address. Check it out. We actually are supposed to close on a pretty good deal in Woodline next week, and it's an agent who did just that. I just went live with my listing. I think this will be a good, opportunity for you and Jason. I know what you guys are doing, and once we saw it on MLS, got the access information, and lo and behold, the contract. So, it's the way that you use it. I mean, you can use and leverage your relationships with the realtors. I mean, even using the MLS, if you have an agent, you can say, hey, if there's an agent that's just doing REOs, I want to have an alert for when they put listings on the market so that you can be maybe one of the first people to see it. Some other things that I do, I keep my search parameters very open. Even though I know I'm not going to flip 9 times out of 10, I'm not going to flip a 2-bedroom house, not in this market. It's just a smaller buyer pool for that. But I still look for 2-bedroom homes because it's an opportunity for me to maybe add a 3rd or 4th bedroom, put an addition or a dormer on it. So I'm not going to set my search looking for 3 and 4 bedroom homes,
And those pocket listings, again, I got to imagine from a realtor perspective, when you do stuff like that, you're holding in and reserving it for your buyers who your investors who have a track record of actually closing deals. It's not a time waster, et cetera. But again, it's a great way to be able to find not just a good deal, but a great opportunity. In reality, when you start to put the hierarchy in respect to the searches, the MLS is still very common, but probably the least likely way to find good deals in the sense that it's so much competition.
Because there's still some good deals on the MLS. Yeah. I'm closing good deals on the MLS.
Yeah. What's the ratio from how many contracts to deals being closed? How many offers you got to put out there in order to find that one good deal you close?
Probably 50, 60%.
Yeah. Wait. So you're saying for every 2 contracts you put out there, or put 2 offers you put out there on the MLS, you're closing 1?
Yeah.
Get out of here. Call EJ right now. If EJ got a 50% close ratio, I need for you to call EJ.
I am, because I'm a little bit more. My risk tolerance is not what other people's are. You know what I mean?
So you're choosing projects that require a little bit more
work. Okay. I'm not intimidated by work. I'm not intimidated by mold. Things that some novice investors or maybe people who don't have as much experience as me are passing on.
Okay.
And then I have a relationship with a lot of brokers. So when they see Ultimate Real Estate Group come across as the buyer, or if it's one of our mentees, and I'm letting them know, and they'll give my contract a nod before some other ones.
Okay.
But that just comes with years of experience and having a reputation.
Got it. But you built that, right?
Exactly.
But just from a pure MLS, you haven't built this conglomerate. You haven't built the EJ Williams system, right? You're going to take some L's. Not L's,
for sure.
Not in terms of money pits, but not in terms of just the ratio between offers to acceptance on the MLS is going to,
it'll be lower. That's the reality.
Here's another one: drive for dollars. I don't think, even though this is a very time-consuming kind of method, I still think it's pretty good. So driving for dollars.
A lot of people do that.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
You pick the area that you're interested in, and you literally drive the area and you look for properties that are boarded up, closed up, or damaged, and you write the address down and you do the search.
I have investor clients that do that. I have mentees that do that. I don't do that. I don't have the time, to do that, but I don't discourage people from doing it.
Sure.
Because you can drive. To your point, you just get in your car, and if you want to focus on a neighborhood, I'd say do a S shape. So, for example, 95th to 83rd, go. The beautiful thing is, especially if you're Chicago, it's a grid, so you can go pretty north and south down a lot of the blocks. And the key is just look for the properties that look distressed or vacant, Those are the ones that the grass has grown, too high.
Yep.
And they have mailers, a pile of mailers, like no one has picked up mail in a few weeks. So those homes, are evident that no one is living there.
Yep.
You write those addresses down. You have to spend the time. It's time consuming.
It is.
And then when you get back home and get to your office, then you have to figure out who's the owner of these properties. Yeah. Then reach out, find a way to get in touch with them.
Take the addresses. Find the PIN numbers. You can sometimes you can do an address search and Zillow will come up with the PIN number, or you can go out to Cook County Assessors and find the PIN number.
Right.
But then you go out to the tax site, the Cook County tax site, the tax assessors, the treasurer.
Yeah, Cook County Treasurer's
office, and then put in the PIN number, and it typically comes up with who owns the property.
Right, because they'll show you where the tax bill is going.
Exactly, and then from there, it's a matter of mailers, right? You draft a letter. There are companies right now that you can get form letters and do direct mail campaigns on a larger, on a larger scale, and just keep mailing the owners and ask for return, hoping that you get a return call back. So it can be time consuming. Here's another thing too, in respect to that, as you build your business, that's going to be a task you're going to find someone else to do. Maybe find you a high schooler or a college kid, right, and have him or her, after you first map out your route, but maybe have him or her go and canvass the area you're interested in, coach them on how to actually do the search and do that piece, right? What I like to do, and it's something I even do this with insurance, but I also do this with real estate. So if it's a property that I'm working on, I call it the funky four corners. Root to the bros. If the bros listening, the bros know what the four corners are. But I call it the funky four corners. So I'll take the house that I'm working on, and I'll take the house to the left and the right of it, and then directly across the street, the two houses right across the street. And I may go knock on the door and say, hey, you know what? I'm Curtis Monday, Monday Investment Group. I own this piece of property. We're going to be working on the property here and there. I wanted to introduce myself. If there's anything come up, give me a call. Let me know. Here's my card. And by the way, if you know anybody that's interested in selling properties, this is kind of what we do, XYZ. And you get leads that way. I get individuals who may say, hey, you know what? I actually am, or I see what you guys are doing across the street.
Right.
Can we, it's just if nothing else, it'll give an extra pair of eyes on your property as you're rehabbing it, right? So they can watch out for it. But you may also find a particular lead there if you're actually working there.
I had listened to this podcast before about, generating leads for deals. And this one investor said that he has hired UPS drivers, FedEx drivers.
Oh, yeah.
Because they know the neighborhoods. They know the routes. They know where the board ups are. And they say, hey, just as you're driving around, shoot me back a list of addresses of vacant properties, so that saves you gas money.
Yeah.
And you just throw them some money.
Yeah.
They're already, on the routes. I thought that was pretty creative.
It's just about building your team.
Yep.
And kind of thinking outside the box and trying to figure out, what's what. Number 3, here's another one, still time consuming, but door hangers, right? You can do, I put door hangers and I put bandit signs in the same category, right? So door hangers, you can get them, pick a zip code, pick an area, get the door hangers printed up, and just essentially leave them on the properties and the area you're looking for.
Right. Same thing like if you're driving for dollars, you can do both of those things, not just capture the address and keep on moving. You can, to your point, leave the door hanger there.
Yeah.
Leave something for the owners if they eventually come by and pick up the mail, once a month or every 3 weeks. You get enough of those sitting there. Maybe they're motivated to sell.
I used to have with the insurance agency, and I do a lot of this. I'm starting to do more of this on the real estate side. I used to have like a little street crew. And with
my little street team. Huh?
Yeah, a little street team. We take pluggers, right? And we took door hangers, and most of them were high schoolers. And we would have geographically. So if my office is in Hazelcrest, we would hit every business in the Hazelcrest area and leave like pluggers. I'm talking about in the J&J Fish, in the Baba's, and all the different places.
You went back with Baba's. Are those places still open?
Man, Baba's still open, man. Don't act like I'm the only one to eat Baba's with steak sandwiches and lemonade. But the lemonade steak places, we would take that. We would take the door hangers and go up block to block and put the door hangers on, et cetera. Again, very time consuming, but not something that I'm going to do. Not something I would say that you invest your time to do particularly. But if you had a team that could do it, still another way to be able to find a project. I think, EJ, one time you and I were looking at a project, and one of the neighbors saw us out looking at a project and came to us and said, hey, I'm thinking about selling my house, and let's sit there and talk. So those things helps. Number 4, direct mail. Direct mail. This seems to be the most common way to market now. What do you think about direct mail, EJ?
You know what? I've honestly never used it, but I get those letters all the time between my properties that we're doing or just in my mailbox. And, I mean, obviously I'm not a motivated seller, but I would imagine that it has to be some conversion with that because you get it so often. And there's so many services that are offering the direct mail. And I think if you're going to do it, you should add a personal touch. You know, if you can handwrite the letters, because you can tell the difference between something that's automated, generated through a company, but if it has a handwritten signature to it or address, then you'll be more inclined to open it up instead of just tossing it.
They do have companies where you can do, you can add your personal signature and it tries to duplicate it, and it looks, and it looks like you actually did it. Direct mail, again, none of these things are a magic bullet, but when you comprise all these different things together, it can help create a system to give you opportunities to find great deals.
Right.
Direct mail, even on the insurance end, I would send out some 20,000 postcards a week.
I'm sure you had a service to do that.
In the area. Well, at that time, we used something in the south suburbs called the Penny Saver. We would get them, basically, what they would do it for us. They would print them up and put them as inserts in their route list, right? Yep. Now we use Every Door Direct with the post office. So Kiana Barber from what's Kiana's company name? What's the business marketer out in South Holland? Literally, I put an order for 10,000 postcards. Right? We bundle them up. We figure out what the routes are. We take them to the post office. We send out 2,500 per week. At the various postal codes we want to take a zip code, and they break like those last 4 digits in your zip code.
Yep.
We send them out that way, and we just kind of keep it going. Again, it's not a one-to-one relationship in respect to you send out one, you're gonna get some business, but it's looking at my target area and consistently having a presence. And what you find with direct mail with on the real estate investing end. Again, the offers you're going to offer, when you talk to them, the letters say something like, hey, EJ, I want to buy your property.
Right.
Hey, EJ, we buy properties already, And when you talk to the person, they're probably going to make you an insulting, ridiculously low offer. And that's by design.
Because they think that you're calling them with the offer they can't refuse,
right.
But you're trying to call them with a steal and a deal.
Yeah.
So the motivations are very different.
Yeah. But every now and then, it's the law of numbers.
Right.
If you send it enough, you will find someone who is in a position or at a certain phase of their life where they're willing to talk. Maybe they just had a death in their family,
right.
A divorce, and they're like, hey, I just want to be gone. And that offer, you're making can still, so don't knock it till you tried it. Number 5, I hate this one, cold calling.
Oh.
Look, cold calling sucks.
I never like that.
Have you ever cold called? You do it?
Well, my first job out of college, CDW, I used to have to part of the day do some cold calling to businesses. I hated that. It's just not my personality.
I hated cold calling with my job in college. We were trying to sell like fraternal order of police sponsorships or some crap.
Right.
And with insurance, we try to cold call and hey. I hate doing it. I hire people. That's another one you can hire somebody.
Maybe I don't like rejection. My personality is not set up.
It's never a right time to cold call. They watching the game. They eating. They sleep. They piss. But again, I'm just again from experience. You call enough people, right? You will get some hits. But you have to really look at it from a perspective. If I call 100 people, I'm going to get at least 10 of them that's actually will talk to me.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe out that 10, 4 of them may hear me out like totally.
Right.
And maybe one may be willing to, and so again, not something that I would say, you do personally. But, some of these things you may have to do starting off.
Sure.
But if you can hire somebody to do them, that's a good one. Here's one that I don't use this resource a lot, and maybe you do, EJ. Mm-hmm. Craigslist. Are you a Craigslist person?
You know what? I was a few years ago, and I did get some pretty good leads from that. I just haven't gone back to it. Maybe I need to train my assistant on how to do that. But, yeah, you can, just like you see the bandit signs on the street posts, you can put posts on Craigslist saying, I'll buy your home no matter, we buy ugly houses. And I think it's a timing thing. You should post in the morning. Before work, you should post in the evening, maybe midday while people are at lunch. But it's not something that I really incorporate because I really don't have a really hard time finding deals now. Because again, this is just where I am in my career. But I think that's a very viable way to look for leads because people are renting, and you can contact people who have properties for rent.
Yeah,
even though they're not obviously on Craigslist to sell, but you never know what their situation is. They may be tired of looking for tenants, and you offer them give them an offer they can't refuse.
Yep.
They may be motivated. So
you can find properties that's out there for rent. Identify yourself as a cash buyer and that you buy properties like, for the buy and hold. And if you're ever interested and keep that information on file, you can put your projects out there.
Yep.
Here's one good way to use Craigslist. You can use Craigslist to find contractors. Right, you can use things like Home Advisor also, but you can use Craigslist to actually find contractors.
Yeah.
I have a template of an actual ad that you can put out there on Craigslist to be able to attract potential contractors, and the whole process with being able to vet them. A lot of these things is just a matter of using them. Like all these, if you're new to real estate, these things that we're talking about may be like, oh wow, I never thought about that. Mm-hmm. To individuals that have been in the business, it's more like, oh yeah, I heard of it, but we ask ourselves, well, why don't we do I know this, but why don't we ever do it? But yeah, Craigslist is a good one.
Yeah, and just make sure you tell them that you're a cash buyer, you can close fast, and you don't care how much work is involved. That's what sellers want to see.
Get it done. Give me my money. No pain, no gain. Let's just go ahead and do it. Here's a good one too. FSBO.
FSBOs.
Right. For sale by owner. EJ, why is for sale by owners a good way to buy a piece of property?
Well, a lot of times people choose to go that route because they don't want to hire a real estate agent, because in real estate transactions, sellers pay commission. And so that's taken away from your proceeds as a seller. So you're trying to eliminate, giving that money away, if you will. So a lot of times you can go directly to the seller and say, hey, I have cash, I can close quick, and you can get the deal done.
Sure.
So those are motivated sellers. And a lot of times they're desperate. Maybe they need a certain number. And if you can find out what that is, maybe you can make the deal work. But
so with these for sale by owners, you're right. You eliminate a major hurdle in respect to getting this thing done. Depending upon who you're dealing with, the process could be really simple, meaning that you can walk the property right there. You can have, if it's an area that you're familiar with, you kind of actually have an idea loosely what the comps may be. If you got all those pieces in place, you walk the property, you got an idea of what the potential scope of work would be, and you got the comps, you can literally get a contract signed right there at the kitchen table. The person who is willing to forego a real estate agent in the process probably equally don't really care about an attorney. You're like, hey, let's get it done also.
Right.
And so if you're like really, really in the investment business, you probably have a contract already ready to go. And you can, hey, let's get it done right there and be good to go. But this is the properties where in the house, there's a sign on the house that says for sale by owner, call and keep calling. So good.
And you can just do a Google search on for sale by owner for your city or your zip code, and you should be able to pull
I didn't
up
know that.
list. Yeah.
So you can go out there and do for sale
Google
by owner.
is everything.
And yeah. So you can just do for sale by owner in Chatham.
Yep.
And find out, wow. So how do they put it? Like, how does Google know that I put a sign out my house?
Well, I'm not sure about how does Google know anything? You sit here, you're talking about eating something, and all of a sudden on your phone, then you see ads for what you're talking about, But I'm not sure how the metrics work. But
Here's another.
Put it out there, and you'll find it.
For sale by owner, another one. Okay, so here's another one to find a great deal in 2020. Wholesalers.
Yeah.
Wholesale, which
I have a love-hate relationship with wholesalers.
I don't like them. I'm just going to say I don't like them. I don't like them.
Yeah, I mean, I have closed probably a lower percentage of them because a lot of times they kill the deal being too greedy.
With their assignment fees. Right?
Yeah. You know, wanting too much. And then at that point, it's not a good deal for you anymore. And I'm a believer of everybody can eat. If you know me and if you ever invested with me or brought a deal or anything like that, I am a true believer that there's enough for everyone. But a lot of times these wholesalers want to make more than the people who are actually going to do the work, especially if you're buying it to flip.
Sure.
It's like, come on, man.
So for people who may not be familiar with what wholesalers do or what a wholesaler is, a lot of times when you first start off with real estate investing, one of the major hurdles you have to overcome is money. How am I going to get money to find a project? Well, voila, you got wholesaling. Wholesaling helps you overcome that barrier. So as a wholesaler, you go find EJ, and EJ has a property that she wants to sell. And let's say EJ wants to sell the property for $30,000. And I'll have a contract with EJ for the asking price of $30,000. I maybe get EJ a down payment for earnest money for $1,000, which essentially means that for the duration of that contract, I control the property. EJ can't sell it. EJ can't do anything. I got control on it. Maybe in the language of the contract, it gives me the authority to assign my financial position, my position in the contract to another party.
Right.
And so I've got EJ property under contract for $30,000. I know it's going to take $70,000 to fix it, but I know we can sell it for $150,000, right? So there's a lot of spread in there, and so then I go find Big Cousin who likes to buy properties, and I make Big Cousin an offer, and then in that offer, I carve out what my essential profit is. And essentially, and I'm leaving out some steps here just for time's sake, eventually what happens is that EJ and Big Cousin wind up going to the closing table together. I get my little cut for making the deal, and I did all this by just having $1,000 in the game,
right?
Which is better than paying $15,000 or $25,000 on the deal and down payment, et cetera, right? But as you say, and I think in legislation right now in Illinois, you're seeing the landscape for wholesalers and their ability to do things change.
Yeah,
you know, and I know some finance companies really make it hard for wholesalers and getting deals done with the wholesale. So. But still, in a lot of different markets, still a viable way to real estate invest.
Yep.
Number 9, networking.
That's everything.
Yeah.
And that's honestly the way that I probably get, I wouldn't say a majority, because I still get a lot of properties from the Cook County Land Bank and the MLS and brokers who let me know about that listing, but it's the networking. That's still network based, you know. I don't have the time to go to many meetups as I used to, but that's a wonderful way. Everybody, if you're a real estate investor, if you're aspiring, if you're seasoned, no matter where you are in your career with that, people should know that you're interested in buying properties, no matter what the condition is. It's up to you once you get the lead to figure out if it works for you, but you want to be privy and be told about everything, every opportunity. Because we get calls about leads all the time. They're not always a fit for where we are, or sometimes they're just outside geographically where it makes sense for us to do business. But I want you calling my phone. You know, if you know the house, you know, next to you is boarded up, same situation, somebody's going through divorce or someone has passed away and now there's a piece of property that you no longer, that you inherited, but you don't have any interest in doing something with, call me.
Yeah.
You know,
networking still continues to be one of the most effective ways to market your business, to find leads. It's inexpensive. And a lot of times the quality of the lead you're getting is supreme. And so, again, spending some time in that human element and investing in human capital, making sure you have your name on the lips of everyone who touches real estate,
right?
Other investors, real estate agents, people that do mold remediation. I have opportunities from people who do ancillary business associated with real estate and say, hey, I know this guy does this. Go talk to him or her. And so.
Keep
great.
your name out there. Constantly remind people. You can't just do it once. You know, you have to put it out there. And that's why I post a lot of times what we're doing, the before and afters, because you want to be top of mind for people when the opportunities exist.
One of these days we'll have time to get through all our stuff because we're like in the last, again,
how does it
flies just like that.
Yeah, it does.
10 or 11, again, you guys can look this up, another way, pay per click. right? That's going to be your homework. Look at these two things as ways. Pay per click.
Yeah, PPC.
Right? And then also search engine optimization.
SEO.
Two other ways to be able to find deals in real estate. So we just gave you, EJ and I just gave you 11 great ways to find real estate deals or great deals in 2020. EJ, give me some last parting words of wisdom for our listening audience.
Stop thinking about investing in real estate and truly contact someone like myself or someone you trust to give you a blueprint. And it's not as hard as people say that it is. Don't listen to the naysayers and the people who've had horrible experiences scare you away from doing something that you truly know that you can do. 2020 is here. And it only takes a phone call for someone to really get the information that they need to just jump off the ledge. I want to see more of us, more of my people jumping off the ledge into real estate investing. It's just a way to build wealth and to create a legacy for yourself and for your family.
Absolutely. And where can they find you, EJ?
You can call me at 773-340-9101. Email me at ej@buildingherlegacy.com. And on Instagram, I'm ultimate_EJ and Building Her Legacy now.
I want everyone who's listening to, again, encourage you to be the best version of yourself in respect to the real estate investing. I concur with EJ that it's not rocket science. You have enough resources out here to help you and to help you be successful at it. You just have to get off the sidelines and get involved. Stop trying to look for things for free. Invest
in yourself.
Invest in yourself. If you're going to bet on something, if you're going to spend money on something that's going to help prepare you to another situation or a better state for you and your family. Seek help. There's a lot of support out there. Again, you can always call me at 708-647-1005 to talk about your insurance and your financial needs. You want to discuss real estate, www.curtisrmonday.com. When we get back next week, we'll be on the other side of 2020.
Wow.
We got some
new decade.
Whole new decade. And we got a whole new squad. So we got some new pieces to introduce to you on the other side. And be on the lookout for some exciting things that EJ and I are working on with She Flips, He Flips. We got to get out of here. So EJ got to go eat. And
yeah, I haven't eaten yet today.
See, look at her. Right. She get, hangry around this time. We got to go. God bless you guys. Happy New Year to you.
Thanks for tuning in and supporting us.
Bye-bye.